Hey guys, I've got a bunch of new makeup that's available at Sephora that I thought we could try on today. How exciting. I've got a new Makeup Forever foundation. This is the HD Skin Balancing and Perfecting Foundation. It comes in this really fun glass bottle. I love the lips there. They sent over two different shades. They're very, very close. I've got 103N and 106N. So we'll see which one works. We'll see which one works. And then I have the newly reformulated, Natasha Denona high gloss lip glosses. So she originally came out with 7. 2 of them were fine. 5 of them smelled very, very funky. She reformulated the 5 and has come out with them. So these 5 that have come back out were never even really on the market. They never even shipped them to retailers. I think influencers got them and then they quickly realized that something was wrong with the formulation. So I want to say it maybe took them a couple months to reformulate these. So excited to try those out finally. And then I do have the new Ciele Shade and Protect SPF 45. They sent me all 4 of their shades. So I have the 2 lightest shades here, Cabo and Amalfi. So we're gonna try these 2, or maybe just the Cabo, which is the lightest. We'll see. And then I do have, and this is actually from a previous video, I never got to try these, but the new Nars Insatiable Liquid Blushes. I purchased myself 2 shades, Exhibit A and Double Dare. So I think I'll have to pick one. These are way too different. Way too different to do like one on one cheek. That'll look just silly. Okay, all right. What else? Oh, I do have a new shade from the Sarah Creal Eyes Up Kajal liners that she has. This is Twilight Smoke, and I've been meaning to try this. So it's new-ish, but maybe not brand spanking new. And then this actually is not a new product, but this shade is new to me. So this is the Kosas Airbrow Tinted Volumizing Treatment Gel, and they sent over gray. So I'm really excited to try gray because that's generally what works for my brows, just like a cooler toned, not very warm, kind of brownish taupey, gray, light gray kind of situation. That didn't make any sense whatsoever, but you know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the Makeup Forever foundation. So I'm gonna shake up both of these. And let's see, I've got 106N. What's the other one? 103N. Let's pump out 106N. I will say this N looks very N, very, very neutral, which I love. Oh yeah, I think that's good. This 103N is even lighter, and I don't think I need to go any lighter. So I'm gonna stick with the 106N, which is linen, for those of you who use me as shade reference. Let me find a clean foundation brush, and I'm gonna just pump out maybe just 2 more pumps. Let's start there. And I do have my Chantecaille Blend and Smooth. Yeah, the blended smooth brush. I'm gonna pick up a little bit. There's a little bit of fragrance, nothing too much, nothing too offensive. It doesn't smell overly floral or anything like that. It smells kind of clean, actually. Looks like there's 40 shades of this, just FYI. I'm on the Sephora site. It is long wearing, natural finish, medium coverage. I will agree with, with the natural finish and the medium coverage. Long wearing, don't know, just applied it. There's niacinamide in here and hyaluronic acid. Both of those things great for my particular skin. I have very, very dry skin. And it is a natural medium to full coverage foundation with a self-adapting formula that hydrates and controls shine. Hydrates and controls shine for all skin types, ages, and concerns. What does self-adapting mean? Oh, I see. So the smart formula retains moisture throughout the day while regulating excess oil for a finish fit for you. Its skincare actives visibly blur and smooth skin with long-lasting wear. I will say my skin looks really smooth. It does also contain blueberry oil, FYI. God, I would love to hear from anyone who's tried this that has oily skin. Did it control their oils? I'm so curious. Now that I have it all over my face, I wonder if this shade is a little bit, like a teensy bit too light for me. It just looks very, very pale. I mean, I'm sure once I get some blush and bronzer on, it won't look so bad, but right now I'm like, wow, I think I could go up maybe a couple of shades. Let me see what's listed here on the Sephora site. So I've got, what is it? This is 106N, maybe 110N. Maybe 110N is the one that I would go for. It's like on their little chart, it's like 2 shades deeper. So it looks really smooth here, but I do have larger pores here on either side of my nose, and it's kind of picking up my pores a little bit. I think maybe some powder may help, or maybe if I applied this with a sponge. You know what? Let me try pouncing this out. I'm gonna zoom in here. I wonder if you guys can see it, but it's just kind of like settling into my pores. And I don't have like giant pores, but I do have, you know, larger than the rest of my face over here. It just looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's textured there, which is not what we're looking for, not really wanted. Yeah, it just looks like it's kind of sitting on top of my skin too. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look quite as perfected as I would like my foundation. I mean, the coverage is there. I think it looks good from a certain distance, but you know, when I lean in, I feel like I can kind of see like the remnants of the foundation, even like blending it in as much as I can. Yeah, it's just kind of sitting on top. I wonder if it just needs to settle down a little bit more. We'll give it some time. I don't have a new concealer or powder, so I will try some powder. I am curious to see how that looks. So I would like to use my Ilia, this Soft Focus Finishing Powder, and we're gonna do a little test. We'll do like a brush on one side and then a puff, like where you press it into your skin, on the other side, and we'll see which side looks better, or maybe they'll look the same. Okay, so I've got this Details by Tati brush. This is the ES1 first edition brush, and I'm gonna pick up some of this powder, and I'm just gonna pounce and then sweep. I think that helped with the pores, but it didn't help right here where it looks like it's just kind of sitting on my skin, but it did help with the pores, which is nice. And then as for a puff, let's try this side here. I'm just kind of pressing it in. I think the pressing inside looks better. Let me take a close look. I mean, it's okay. It's a little bit better with the powder, but I still feel like, I don't know, I still feel like you can see the makeup on my skin, just like down here, along my jawline, underneath my mouth, a little bit around my nose. But the powdering definitely helped the pore situation over here. And it looks smooth on the majority of my face, but it's just this area here, I feel like it just, I don't know, it looks a little heavy. All right, we'll have to kind of come back and take a look at all of this at the end of the video, because sometimes letting it sit down, you know, it really helps. Okay, let's try these Ciele bronzers. All right, let's start with Cabo, which is the lighter one. Let me do some swatches here. And these are a powder product. So there is Cabo, and there is Amalfi. I really like them both because Amalfi looks really nice. Cabo looks very, very kind of neutral, cool toned. But yeah, the Amalfi looks really nice too because it's a little warm, but not too much. All right, let me get this on my face. I've got the Ciele bronzer body and face brush. So I'm assuming the bigger side is for the body, the smaller side is for the face. So I'm going to start there. And ooh, wow, okay. It's soft. There was a lot of kick up in this. That is Cabo. You know, it's so interesting. It's like I see it, right? It's doing something, but I don't think it's actually doing much. And I don't think it's like the depth of the color, like you can't see it. It's maybe it's the tone. I don't know, maybe I need something a little bit brighter. Well, let's try this Amalfi. I'll wipe this off on a microfiber towel, and then let's go into Amalfi. Yeah, I like this side more. I don't know, maybe Cabo's just too light for me. I very rarely say that unless it's like a super pale foundation. But yeah, I usually go for like the lightest shade in, you know, bronzers or whatever. I don't know. Or it's the tone. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I just don't think that does much for my complexion. But this side I feel like I see, yeah, maybe it's just brighter. So I've been sitting here staring at these swatches and trying to figure out what it is about this side that I'm not the biggest fan of. And I think, I don't know, but I think that this bronzer has a very similar quality to the Nars Laguna. And that bronzer didn't work for me either. And I think it's because it has a little bit of a yellow undertone. And that just doesn't work for my skin tone. I need like red, a little bit of orange in there, so you get like kind of a peach or whatever. That just looks so much better. But this, it's so strange. It's so strange. I mean, I don't know if yellow is even the right word, but yeah, I mean, I kind of see like a little bit of yellow in there. Well, I like Amalfi more, and that happens to be the second lightest shade. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I'm gonna just tap like a little bit of this Amalfi over the Cabo, just to kind of even out my my complexion. Yeah, I think that looks better. Well, that was such an interesting shade test. Okay, let's move on to NARS. So, Exhibit A or Double Dare. I mean, Exhibit A is so good, isn't it? Let me try Exhibit A. Let's do it. Let's go for the bright, sunny blush. We are in the right season for this. So these have got a doe foot applicator. Okay, so there's Double Dare, there's Exhibit A. Okay, so I'm gonna just tap. Is that stupid? Yeah, I'm just gonna tap some onto my cheek here. I'll do 1, 2. Oh God, that was probably too much. And then I've got my BK Beauty 109 brush. And yeah, I'm gonna try and get some of that off. Wow, that. Michelle, you know better. I'm probably gonna have to go over this. I'm gonna have to go over this with like a powder or something, but that's okay. Let's just see how it blends out. I mean, it is blending out really nicely. It's way too bright, way too bright. But yeah, I think I would have been good with just 1 dot. I mean, yeah, I know better. I mean, Exhibit A is one of the brightest blushes out there. You know, it's applying really nicely over all of that powder that I have down between the bronzer and the Ilia pressed powder. It is applying very nicely over that. And, you know, I mean, if you like a bold blush, I think this is okay. I think it's a little much. For me, I think it's a little bit much. I know. I usually like a bold blush, but I'm gonna put some of the Ilia pressed powder over it. I'm just gonna use this powder puff and just quiet it down a little. There we go. Shh. Hush, little blush. That did really blend out very nicely though, I have to say. That Exhibit A, really nice. Well, great, now I'm gonna have to duplicate that on this side, which means kind of making a mistake and then fixing it. Let's do that again. Did 1, 2. Yeah, that blends out really nicely. And it has a really pretty sheen. Very like skin-like, maybe skin-like plus a little something. And then let me press a little powder. Yeah, that's an aggressive blush look. But you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind. Because we're doing a very light eye look because I only have this eyeliner. But I'm really loving that formula. I just feel like that blended out so nicely. Sometimes liquid blushes can be like a little fussy. I still definitely have more blush on this side, don't I? Let me try and even this out. I have a little bit of blush left on the back of my hand. So let me try and even this out. Oh God. This is gonna be like a winged eyeliner situation, you know, when you keep trying to even it out and you end up with like these giant heavy wings. That's what's gonna end up happening over here. I'm gonna stop there because now I feel like I have more on this side and I'm just gonna keep going back and forth. So I'm just gonna stop. All right, let's move on because I'm just sitting here staring at my cheeks. Let's try this Kosas Airbrow. Again, the shade is gray. Tinted Volumizing Treatment Gel. Okay, so, well, here's the packaging. Fun packaging. Here's the spoolie. I don't see any like fibers in here or anything like that. And this gray is nice. It's like a warm gray. This gel is more like a pomade, I would say. There's like a little bit of a thickness to it and it's soft. It's soft. It's not like, It's not like it's crunchy or anything. Oh, it's quite nice. Kosas Air Brow in gray. That's great because my Christian Dior brow gel that I always use, I think that is on its last legs. So I'm happy to have a replacement. All right, let's move on to the Sarah Creal Eyes Up. And this is in a new shade, Twilight Smoke. This looks very pretty. Let me do a swatch for you. So it's like a mid-tone taupey gray with a little bit of a metallic sheen, and then there are some silver little glitters in there. So pretty. All right, I'm gonna draw this on, and then I'm gonna use the brush at the other end of this to kind of smoke it out a little. And happy to report, I don't feel any of those micro glitters. How fun. And I love the texture of these pencils. They're not too soft, but they're really smooth. Oh, so pretty. Let me do a little tight lining. And then maybe I'll also do my lower waterline. I really like this shade. It's like the perfect eyeliner shade if you just want to wear eyeliner and not any eyeshadow or anything. You know what I mean? It's not too stark, it's not like too black or anything, but it's also not too light. Really nice. Just gonna curl my lashes. I have been using the Benefit Roller Lash. I think I used it in the last video that I filmed, and I realized it was getting on because it was sticky and kind of crumbly at the same time. It was leaving like clumps on my eyelashes, and then within a couple of hours, it was like smearing all underneath my eyes. I was like, wow, this mascara has seen better days. So I got rid of that one. So I'm just gonna use my Surratt Noir Lash Tint since I have this open. And now we've got the Natasha Denona High Glosses. So let me do some hand swatches of these, and then I'll do lip swatches of them. So we've got Cherry Cola, Berry Pop, Cherry Blossom, Fresh Mauve, and then Cleo. So I would say Cherry Blossom is the lightest and Cleo is the most neutral. And then I think you guys can see that Berry Pop is the brightest. Okay, before I start doing lip swatches and I start like, you know, wiping away makeup over here, I'm gonna take a close look at the foundation over here and see if it's settled down and if it looks any better. It does look a little better. It does look a little better. I think it has like settled onto my skin, and it's like looking like it's meshing really well versus it just sort of sitting on top of my skin. Yeah, it's looking much better actually. Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, sometimes you just have to give foundation a little time for it to settle down, do its thing. Because sometimes when it's just like really freshly applied, it just, yeah, it's just like sitting on top of your skin. Anyway, it is looking much better. All right, I'm going to start with Cleo, which was the most nude shade. You know, I had to say the scent of these vastly improved from the original shipment that they sent me, but they still smell a little odd. They do have a vanilla scent to them, but there's like a little bit of an odd, like very little odd sort of note in there, if you will. It's just, it's a little strange. It's not like any other lip product I've smelled before. There is Cleo. That's a great everyday shade. If you have coloring similar to mine, that's definitely like a My Lips But Better. They are the like smallest amount of sticky, but not sticky to the point where I have, you know, the strings or anything like that. Nice kind of cushiony texture. Nice, super comfortable. Feels nice on the lips. Okay, next, let me try Cherry Blossom. Okay, there is Cherry Blossom. Super pretty. I'm just reading on the Sephora site. So this has white tea rose cells and raspberry plant cells to preserve elasticity, boost moisture, and support long-term lip health. Okay, next let's try Fresh Mauve. There is Fresh Mauve. That's pretty. I like the level of pigmentation in these. I mean, I feel like I can clearly see the difference between all of these glosses. When I started swatching these, I was like, oh, I hope you guys can even see the difference. But yeah, these have a nice, I would say like a medium level of pigmentation. Next, let's try Berry Pop. There is Berry Pop. I probably should have ended with this one because I feel like this is the perfect complement to these cheeks. These aggressively blushed cheeks. And finally, we've got Cherry Cola. Okay, there is Cherry Cola. I love the pigmentation of these glosses. The formula is very, very nice. The odd fragrance to them is very, very minor. And in fact, I think I only smell it when I like pull the doe foot applicator like out of the bottle. As soon as I start applying it, I don't really smell anything. They do have a little bit of a vanilla scent, but that is, again, it's like just right when I open it. I feel like now that I have the lip gloss on, I don't actually smell anything. Maybe a little vanilla, but not much. Okay, I really love the Amalfi bronzer. That blended out beautifully, as did these blushes. I can't wait to try this Double Dare, because this is definitely one that I'd probably wear a lot more often. A lot more often than Exhibit A. I also know now only one dot. That's it. That's all you need, especially if you have a light skin tone like I do. You just need one dot of that Exhibit A, unless you like an aggressive rouge on your face. But that blended out really, really beautifully. This Twilight Smoke is absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving it more and more, like the longer I look at it. It's really, really pretty. Oh, and the Kosas Brow Gel is very nice. I think this will make a nice follow-up to the Dior Brow Gel that I've been using. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.